Afrobeat Intelligence Podcast.
Afrobeat Intelligence, democratizing African music.
You're back for the Colors shoot. What was it for you? What was it like doing that?
Honestly, it was a very, very beautiful experience. I've not done something like that before. I think I was telling Houdini this, that, yo, man, I really enjoyed the experience. I mean, everything was everything for me, bro. Yeah.
How was it? The setup? All of
Yeah,
it?
it was beautiful. It was amazing. It was really nice. And yeah, and I had a feel of what the output was
Okay.
going to be, or is going to be, rather. So, I
Played it
mean, I'm
for you?
excited. Yeah, they did.
Oh,
I'm
that's
really
beautiful.
excited. Yeah.
That's beautiful. But with platforms like Colors, is it something you've always looked forward to? Colors, because I know a lot of artists, a lot of creators who say Colors is is on their bucket list.
Okay. I wouldn't say it was on the bucket list for me, but I mean, I come across their content like once or twice, and when they mention it, I'm like, oh, why not?
Yeah.
You feel so? Yeah. I mean, I was excited to be among the artists selected for this one. So yeah,
What'd you perform?
an unreleased song is called Many Man.
Ah, why'd you choose that though?
Cause I mean, Colors is a platform that's like they have like lots of listeners and all that, and Many Man is like a really personal song for me because like the first song I wrote about like my experience with the accident and all that. So yeah, so it was a really personal song, and I wanted to let the story out there, and that's why I chose that one.
So when you perform songs like this,
Mhm.
songs that hold such deep meaning to you,
Yeah.
does it in any way generate those emotions, like the same ones you feel when you're writing, or the source from where you drew it from? Does it generate those emotions? Or it's
Yeah,
just
yeah, it does. I mean, matter of fact, Houdini was telling me when we were making the song, he was concerned with like the production or where we're going to take it. And just watching me perform it yesterday, he meant a whole new thing to him. Like he could finally understand where I was coming from. And I'll say the same thing for myself because when I was performing it, he meant more to me. Because I mean, I passed the stage of just writing. Now I'm just singing the lyrics and I'm seeing how much of an experience it is for me. So yeah, actually generates those emotions.
interesting.
Yeah.
Houdini is also in the room. If I knew he was out, I've just given him a mic. What? If there's a mic, we could just plug it in. Okay, so because I have a question for you from this, since you're in the room and he's mentioned your name, so he just said it meant more to you, and this is a song you produced. What was different watching him perform it?
The way the Colors room was set up, right? There was a lot of like reverberation. So seeing his emotions, Victony is someone that emotes a lot when he sings. So seeing the way his voice was carrying the room, I finally at that moment, because when you're recording a song, when he's recording a song, he's writing and we're producing at the same time. So my mind is focused on production. But this was the first time I could actually like put myself out of like making the music and just connecting with what he was saying. So all the lines, I mean, when you guys hear it eventually, you understand what I'm talking about, but I could see the picture he was painting. Because Victony, with his lyrics, paints a lot of pictures. Just hit me at that moment.
That's amazing. Thank you, because one of the reasons why, okay, first, I like extremely sincere music. I like music that I consider that break the fourth wall. Especially when people are very sincere, they're either crying on it or they're just speaking from their soul. You could feel it. You could feel it from the music. And with your music, I feel it all the time. Like even when you're talking about sex. Even when you're talking about sex, you could literally say, okay, this is one emotional man.
Yeah.
Have you always been like that, being emotional? Would you consider yourself an emotional guy?
Yeah, I will. I
Why?
will, because like I mean, when I want to write, I just like go to somewhere. It feel like even if I've not felt what I'm writing about before, I just try to like be in that character and just imagine that if I was going through this, how would I feel, right? So when every time I want to like come up with like a song every time I'm composing. I just even with the chords sometimes like down to the chord selection. Like I tell the producer, "Oh, use these chords because I want to feel this way when I'm recording, right? And I want the chords to take me to this place where I can feel this way so that I can bring out those emotions." So yeah, I'll say I'm one. Yeah, I'm an emotional man.
So emotional in the delivery, emotional in the writing.
Yeah.
I've always been interested in how this creates beyond the music, even before you picked up a mic ever. Like, has this always been your disposition? Do you feel things deeply?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll say yeah.
Has there been any example where something has hit you hard and it's not? And a lot of people would say, it's not that deep. No.
Let me think. I don't know if I can give one now,
Okay.
but I can't think of one now, Sha, but I'll say yes. Yeah.
Because you do strike me like an emotional guy. And so with music, chasing this emotion in music, when you record and you make the final product, does it take away from like how important it is when you play it over and over and over again? At some point it becomes furniture. For you, that is the creator.
Okay, so with me, I think it's until the song is released.
Okay.
I have this funny theory going on like in my head because like I feel like when the song is released, it's no longer mine. Like it's for the people, so I don't connect to it as much as I did before release, right? So I mean, until the song is released, even if I play it like 100 times, I don't get tired of it. But once it's released, I just feel like, oh, it's out there. It's for the people now, right? So
Yeah.
it's no longer, you know what I mean. So yeah.
So you feel a certain disconnect once the public gets it,
right? Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, anything I release for the public, in a certain way, I never want to like look at the things I create, whether I'm writing or recording or filming or doing anything. Once I'm done with it, I don't have to look at it. I don't have to listen to it because it's so.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It came from you. It's like looking at your dump.
Yeah, facts. Yeah.
Well, it's fine. And then you go through. So did it make it harder that you were stuck in a wheelchair for as long as you did? Like being this other person?
I mean,
did you punish yourself for it?
So being on a wheelchair, a lot happened, right? I mean, it made it harder in the sense that being used to walking before now and now having to like slow down your life. Like you wake up in the morning and you can't even go to brush your teeth, right?
Yeah.
So apart from it affecting you physically, you know what it's going to do to you mentally because you have that, you feel, right? So, I mean, that happened and it now springs up thoughts in your head that, oh, I shouldn't have done this.
Yeah.
I should have just been in school. Like, look at my family. Everyone is down because of me. I mean, look at my friends. Like, why am I putting everybody through this? So, yeah, being on a wheelchair definitely, like, made things harder. But, I mean, at some point, I just had to look at the bright side, right? The fact that, I could watch, I could slow down and just see everything in, like, details, like, watch the world in slow-mo. Like, just be in the house all day and see everything that's happening and really dwell on. When I'm thinking about something, I'm really dwelling on it because, like, I don't have anything to do, like, throughout the day.
Yeah.
So it had its good and bad side to it, yeah.
But what was the central thing it taught you about yourself? Being put on the sidelines like that?
Well, it just taught me to, it taught me to, before then, I was really, like, on the go.
Yeah.
Just go out, go to school, go to the studio, come back and, but just having that pause in my life it made me reflect on my life and just, just want to do things with more intentions, like love more, be closer to the people like I really love, I mean, before then, my parents would always call me and be like, yo, man, like we haven't seen, I'm like, oh, I'm working, like, no, it's school time, but like, I feel like I can always just make out that small time regardless, right? Because like if I had lost my life to the accident, I I don't know, I'll probably be filled with regrets
Sure.
about certain things that I didn't do, right? So that's one thing I actually learned.
So one thing, just give me one thing you were doing, like you did in this period, one new thing you picked up.
Um, let me see, let me see, let me see, let me see. I think I started watching movies a lot, right?
Yeah.
And I before I create like artistically with my music, like I do a lot of creations, like how I want my video ideas to be,
Yeah.
my cover arts, but that period I was more involved, right? Because like I could just listen to a song and I feel like, oh, I'm going to drop this song in this time, and this is how I want the video to be. I had like that quietness to like really think about all that and just create. So yeah, more of that.
Because I can't necessarily say I have not had use of my legs for a bit, but I've been in medical situations where I have
Yeah.
been bedridden or stuck in a place, surgeries
Oh
and all of that. And
yeah,
what gets to you is how much thoughts you begin to have to deal with.
yeah,
It's like your brain just goes off.
yeah.
Uh,
Fact.
But the good part about this is how you found a way to extract positivity from all of it. Because I know it must have made working harder, but you did it.
Yeah.
Why? Nobody expects you to work when you go through. You
Yeah.
had the accident, and then you're confined to a wheelchair, loss of your limbs for that period.
Yeah.
Everybody expects you to just focus on palliative care and recuperation.
Mm-hmm. I mean, when it happened, right, and I look at my environment and I see, my mother having to be by my side, like 2-4,
Yeah.
my siblings.
Okay, so she was around you all the
Yeah.
Oh,
it
nice.
was.
Shout out to her.
Yeah, shout out to my mom, man. So I realized that I had to be strong for everyone around me and my fans, and yeah, that's kind of like motivated me, to really just get back at it and just let everyone know, like, I'm in a good space, right? Like, you don't have to worry about me. And yeah, I was really concerned about like my friends and family, and I wanted them to be fine. So that kind of like motivated me to, just be back at it again. And I really, I did it for myself also, because I had to like leave that space of, just being down, being quiet and not doing anything to
Was it harder
uh
to make music, to go for shows? Because I remember seeing you at the Mayorkun's
yeah.
event. I was there, like, ha, ha, ha. That was the first time I was seeing you live in the chair.
Yeah.
I'm like, ha, Victony. And they made it so cool.
Yeah.
Like it's the most, would I use the word pimped up wheelchair? Was that deliberate?
Yeah, it was. It was. I mean, shout out to Dapper. That was Dapper's idea.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, I mean, it was harder because before you just wake up and you wear your clothes and you go for like shows, right? So,
Yeah.
but I mean, at that point, I had to it's slower, like
What did prep look like?
yeah. I mean, I have to like so literally we had to like slow down a lot, like more. I had like more what's it called, road managers
Yeah.
to be on, be ready for me, and just have to be carried,
Yeah.
being carried basically. So instead of walking, I was being carried, right? So yeah,
Hang on.
that's what it was.
Hang on, like you made a lot of fire music in that period.
Yeah, I did.
A lot of it.
Yeah.
A lot of it. I know I've listened to Victony. First time I ever took time to listen to Victony, it was the other project, Saturn.
Mm-hmm.
Then I didn't know who you were. I knew you as a rapper then. You did some rap work and all, emo rap. But that's not my thing.
Yeah.
So when it was Alaji Poppin
Yeah.
that pushed the project to me, it's like, this cool shit is coming. It's coming. I'm like, why are you so excited? You're never excited about anything.
Yeah.
And it's like, listen to this one, Joey. Listen to it. So when I heard it from the first track,
More.
more, yes. one that goes ooh.
Yeah.
Let me even find it. Try not to play a lot of before they pull down my podcast.
It's
So
fine.
I try not to. But yeah, let me find this one because it just hit me. It hit me so deeply that I never left. That was when I became a Victony fan from that song.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I still play it today. It's I think it's one of your best.
Yeah.
When this happened, something changed. I like to think, especially when with Pray and the record that came with Pray.
Rosemary.
No, not Rosemary. Pray came in a single together. The one with
Unfamiliar
Trek.
Realms, yeah.
Yes, Unfamiliar Realms. So I heard Pray for a while and I got stuck on it for a while, but because I felt the sincerity in it. It's a good song. It's a
Yeah.
wishful song.
Yeah.
And then there's Unfamiliar Realms. That's the one that really got to me more.
Oh.
What were you trying to say in Unfamiliar Realms?
I just feel like a lot of people are in headspaces where they don't really know what's wrong with them, right? I
Yeah.
mean, they want to ask for help and they're like, no, I don't need your help, right? So, I mean, like I said earlier, even if I don't feel something, I try to like just be in that character to know what it could possibly feel like to, be in that space. And it was really inspired by Mark Miller's Wings,
Yeah.
right? So yeah, I heard Wings and I thought we didn't need to play like the exact chords, and it just came to me to like talk about that, right?
Yeah.
Like Unfamiliar Realms, like people are in places where they can't really explain what's wrong with them,
Yeah.
and yeah,
Your collaborator, who's he?
Tredax.
Yes, who's he? Because who is he? Because he's supposed to he's different.
So so I'm with my songs and my sound, right? I'm trying to like build a world called Outlaw View, right? It's like this space where
What do you call it?
Outlaw View.
Outlawville.
Yeah, Outlawville, like VI.
Yeah, I know for
Yeah.
Villa for
Right?
for
Yeah,
criminals.
yeah. So yeah, I'm building that space where my fans can like exist every time they're like plugged into my sound,
Okay.
right? And Tredax is just Victony in the Outlaw View.
Oh,
I don't know if that makes sense. So I mean,
he's your doppelganger.
yeah,
Or
like
he's
it's like an alter ego.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's still you. No way.
Yeah, so yeah,
You're still Tredex.
I'm still Tredax. Yeah,
This is
yeah,
mind blowing.
yeah.
So what happens when you switch to that? What's the difference now?
So I'm in a different space. Like it's more like an imaginative space. So I try to like zone out from being Victony and just be Tredax, and just when I'm in Outlaw View, I see it in my head, right? And at that point, I'm just Tredax, and yeah, I just stay stuck about things going on in like Outlaw View,
Huh.
right? So
And then in the delivery, Tredax's delivery, what do you do to the vocals? What do you do? Because Tredax, if you hadn't said this,
yeah,
I would never know that only one person was on that record. It doesn't sound like you.
I mean, man,
What happens to like Tredax's music delivery? What changes?
I mean, man, that's the mystery, right? Yeah.
True,
Yeah.
true. But a part of it is, a part of the record said a part of that record said, you don't offer me help or something, or if you offer me help, I'm going to reject it
Yeah.
or something. Was that something you felt? You got a lot of pity during like when you were in a wheelchair? Was that something you didn't like?
Yeah, definitely.
I don't like pity either. Well, what made it suck?
Yeah, because like I mean that's why I said that was like kind of like my motivations, to just be back at it. Because like I didn't want people to see me down and just be like, oh, I'm sorry, it's gonna be all right.
Yeah.
And I just had to like be back at work and just let them know that hey, I'm fine,
Yeah.
right? So I didn't like to hear it the same, like over and over again,
Yeah.
like oh sorry. It didn't necessarily help me,
Yeah.
right? It just made me look at it like, oh, um, everyone around me is not happy,
Yeah.
with the accident, and I hated to feel that way. That I don't want to be the reason why everyone is like down, why the air is like gloomy, right? So, yeah, it really sucked, honestly.
So I'm getting the vibe that for some reason you've like beyond even that particular situation,
Mm.
you you put a lot of responsibility on yourself.
Yeah,
Because any other person would say, okay, this happened. This is it. This is real. Um, I would embrace it. But for you, it was more important that people didn't suffer for you.
yeah, yeah. Cause I just didn't want it, right? Like, I mean, if people did suffer for me, that's more suffering for myself, owing to the fact that I always blame myself that it happened, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, it was like a healing process for me because making everyone feel rest assured that I am fine
Yeah.
meant healing for me. Cause like I mean, everyone will be like back to normal, like they won't have to worry about me that much, and that will help me know that oh, I'm getting better as well. So I mean, it's like a cycle sort
Yeah.
of, right? So yeah,
But was there any positive?
yeah.
Which one? Which positive do you hold on to?
Uh, I mean, man, like coming back at work and seeing like the love
Yeah.
from like my fan,
Yeah.
yeah, that one, that one,
And you
that
had a
one
you had a
definitely,
lot. You had a lot.
yeah,
You had a
yeah,
lot. You had a lot. 'Cause it
yeah,
was new for everybody.
yeah.
And it went contrary to to convention.
Mm.
And so that was beautiful. Well, beyond that, with you've been on the back burner for a long, not back burner, you've hustled for a long time
Yeah.
in this, changing your flow, changing your music, changing a lot of things. Why did you switch into this version of yourself? What what were you getting? What weren't you getting from emo rap that you knew you were going to get from this advancement?
Um, I would say I wasn't getting something from emo rap or I had like a switch with the intention of more response.
Yeah.
I would say like I consider like my music like my voice can like exist in any shape, in like any form, right?
Sure.
So I just go with it, right? Because like I make music according to like how I'm feeling, so I mean times where I made emo rap were like times where I felt like I wanted to, times that I was rapping was when I felt like I wanted to rap, man, when I'm making Afro beats, so I mean it's just I make music like different music in different times. So
But what did it need? What did you need to do to be able to like assume this current form?
uh
What was different in like the, because I know you still write. You're
yeah,
right.
yeah,
Of
yeah.
course you're right. You paint pictures and all. It's still the same. Like what changed? Like what part of the process
um
changes?
I I think my mind expanded like during COVID,
Okay.
right? During COVID, everyone was inside, and that's when I thought that oh, I could try out new stuff.
So you had two lockdowns.
Yeah. Facts, I did. That's
Yeah, continue,
yeah,
please.
facts. So, I mean, like with the first lockdown, yeah. I thought to myself I needed to like try out new stuff, and that's what birthed the Saturn EP,
Yeah.
right? And ever since I've just been going on from then. Like I do emo rap today. Tomorrow I'm doing Afrobeat. I mean, in a while, I haven't even made like any up tempo song this year. You feel like
Right.
yeah. So like
For real?
yeah, like
But we're currently enjoying an up tempo
yeah. That's
jam
because
from
like
you.
that was my mood like last year, November or October. I can't remember when I made Apollo, but that was my mood like late last year, right? But from December to like December, January, February, March, I just be feeling like mid tempo and the need to discuss about life, right? So I
Yeah.
haven't even made any song about party girls and all that, right? So like it's it feels so that's why I say like at different times, different music. So it's just the feeling for me and I go with it.
So you're deeper now.
I mean, you could say that. I'm feeling like this way, and then May June, you never know what I could be feeling, man. I could just be feeling turned again, and then we have another Apollo or like a Holy Father or something, right? So, yeah.
Okay. Holy Father happened.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was one of your, it's not exactly your record because
Yeah.
it appeared in Mayorkun's album,
Yeah.
but you did a lot of work there
Yeah.
and gave the records all a lot of the positives that people connected to.
Yeah.
What did it do for you? A song like Holy Father.
Mm. It did a lot. Holy Father is like a life changing song, right?
In what way?
I mean, man, in every way, like, more fans, more listeners, it took me to like another level in my career.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, the connection with Holy Father was deep. I mean, the messages I got from that release,
Yeah.
uh, the type of messages that I didn't get before, right? So, I mean, it just did a lot for me.
But with Holy Father, how did that creation process go?
I mean, man, New York said he wanted something.
Holy
Friend.
Father, Holy
Man,
Father, screaming my
you wouldn't expect a
She
Mayor
got me in my
Victony
favorite
part to be fun, right? So, but when Mayor reached out, I was surprised as well.
Holy Father.
He wanted to come into my work, so he just told me to run with it, and I linked up with Semzi, and yeah, we did the whole thing.
When was the first time you knew that it was different, that this was different in terms of public acceptance?
I think from the moment of release, right? Right from the night of the release, like
How was that night?
yo.
But where were you? Were you here?
No. I was in my family house actually, and because like we're all excited for the release, my team, my family, everyone knew about Holy Father,
Yeah.
and yeah, we're really excited. So when it came out, that excitement was the same. I got the same level of excitement from my fans, right? And yeah, so it was really a dope feeling.
Okay, so Holy Father represents a key part of what happened last year for
Yeah.
African music.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the biggest songs that existed. And to have a record like that professionally, how did that change for you professionally?
Did it?
How did it influence you professionally?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. That's what I'm thinking about.
Because everyone knew you were
Yeah,
dope.
yeah.
But for me, Holy Father was just a wider proof of concept.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't think it had like so much influence
Okay.
on me professionally. It did not tweak much,
Okay.
right? I mean,
Even in terms of how the world reacted to you.
yeah, it didn't change much. I mean, Holy Father came out, and our mood was like, finally, the world is like ready, right? So it's only up from here. Right. So I don't know if that makes sense. Like
Yeah.
Holy Father came out and then we're just ready that we're ready to like go.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah.
Uh.
So it's almost like we've been waiting for like that moment and then we're like, oh, Holy Father is out. This is the reception, so this is how we move. Yeah.
So did Holy Father, you recorded Holy Father before Apollo?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
in no way, and Holy Father had come out before you recorded Apollo or not?
Holy Father was out before before Apollo, yeah. And I recorded Apollo after Holy Father, but Apollo and I don't know if you heard Joe Redeem.
Yeah,
So
I
I
did.
mean, as some, yeah. So I always
See,
have like,
I raised that project. I can sing it word. I can sing
yeah,
like 4 songs there, word for word.
for real.
Yeah, word for word.
So I mean, man, there's Joe Redeem and
Yeah.
there's Holy Father and then there's Apollo. So I mean, there's always this fast tempo side of Victony. So Apollo is not owing to the fact that Holy Father had such a massive response.
Yeah.
Right. Apollo was just from within. I really wanted to. Apollo was inspired by DJ Clocks. Remember you saying, "Oh,
Yes,
Jerry."
So this is Joe Rhythm.
Yeah.
It's one of the best.
Yeah.
It gives me this gives me so much joy to hear this. Because just goes. I'm trying to get.
Yeah, it's like,
So yes,
yeah, so
your up tempo records stand out.
yeah, it
And
is.
after listening to Joe Rhythm, I was wondering like why, even though I enjoy everything else,
Mhm.
I'm like, why doesn't this boy take us to club a lot more?
That's what I'm saying. My up tempo like side, it comes like once in a while.
Yeah.
And when he calls, my team, they're always like, let's put it out, man. Let's put it. So like, so I don't even have much in the reserve,
Because
right?
it's rare.
Yeah, it's rare,
And
right?
oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah, so I mean, so with Apollo, yeah, like DJ Clocks, remember you ever since like I was younger, I
Yeah.
really loved the song, and I always wanted to make something, similar to that. So I took the exact progression
Yeah.
from the song. That's to tell you how much I love the song, and yeah, that's what birthed Apollo, right? So yeah,
With Apollo, what I heard in Apollo was what I heard in Joe Rhythm. That up tempo vibe,
Yeah.
that joy that comes from like movement and all.
yeah.
So when it was coming out, and then your people hit me at Dafe,
Yeah.
like shout out to him, great guy.
Yeah.
And so he hit me up and he's like, we've got something new coming on. I'm like, what is in this one? And he's like, yeah. So when I heard it, I was like, what's happening? Yeah, so this is Apollo. How it's kind of
Yeah. Chords, right?
I no go do. I no go.
Yeah.
Yes, Apollo. Apollo's taking us back to the clubs.
Yeah.
Or
definitely. I
to
was
the
at club
not
last
back
night. I was
to
at
the
club.
clubs.
Yeah.
And you did the club show. Was it last night?
Last night, yeah.
How was it? Was it for Apollo?
Yeah, it was for Apollo, like that's the perfect space for Apollo to really exist and like, bloom well. So that's why I took it to the club, man. I wanted to know I wanted to see people move to it, right?
Yeah.
I wanted to, just say, yeah, I did a very good job. So yeah, I was at the club last night, and matter of fact, I'm in the club tonight as well. So, yeah.
Okay.
So like, yeah.
And the reception you got in the club, like when you make this music
Mm-hmm.
for yourself, how do you know? I'm not even digital. Like, seeing,
Yeah.
how do you know when people like your record?
I mean, you can feel it, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. We artists, I feel like we can feel it. Even when people react to like the record in like a positive way and they tell us that, oh, they like it, we can always still feel when they are not really feeling it, but they're just saying it to us. So you feel,
Yeah,
but
people can tell.
yeah, yeah. But
Huh.
I can tell when people genuinely like feel my record. I mean, with Apollo last night, I was somewhere
Yeah.
before we went to the club and DJ played it and I read the room. They didn't know the song. Obviously, it's a new song, but I mean, the energy was really dope. And I'm like, yeah, Apollo is a good one and he has like serious potentials, to be one of those club hits and
It does.
the global hits at
It
large,
does.
yeah.
It does. It does. It does. Because I rarely ever feel like records deep Okay, I always feel your music.
Yeah.
I'm not saying this because of you. That's why I support,
Yeah.
because I'm a fan.
Yeah.
I'm also a fan of the art. So with Apollo, I play in my car. I have
Yeah.
these huge ass speakers, and I
Yeah.
install this big ass speaker in the trunk.
Oh,
So it's always a party when I drive.
Yo, that's crazy, man.
I had
Sounds
to.
lit,
That's how
yeah.
much I love music.
Yeah.
So I go there. I put it in the car. I do the car test for every
Yeah.
record. And I play that Apollo, and everywhere shoot. I knew this was it.
That's the vibe, yeah.
I knew this was it. When I told that, you guys deepen the kicks. You've made it faster. And he's like, yes, of course. I'm like, well done.
Yeah.
Well done. Well done. And well, it's in contrast. Records like that are in contrast to the collaboration you did with Rexxie. Like that.
Like that, yeah.
Like that is a bit slower and all of
Yeah.
that. Nobody expected you to do a record with Rexxie
Yeah.
or a capsule.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
yeah,
how
yeah.
that's how
Capsule, yeah.
a capsule with Rexxie. Where how did that connection happen?
I mean, we producers, right? I hear it when I listen to like their work, and I just hear like a side of them that, you know, like people don't really acknowledge, and I want to like utilize that. So I mean, Rexxie is an extremely talented producer. Big shout out to Rexxie, right? But the records he's like really known for are like the up tempo, you know, the club mangas,
Yeah.
which is like really, which is dope, right? But
Mhm.
I mean, on the side, Rexxie is a really musical person,
Yes, yes.
right? So I mean, he plays the keys and all that. So we had like a session in this place, and first day we banged out like, you know, 2 records. I mean, the
Nice.
another day we banged out like 3 records. So I
Oh.
mean, and they are all on different wavelengths. I have like 6 songs with Rexxie, and
Oh.
they're all different. So I mean, like that just happened to be one of those songs. You know, we're just moving from one space to another. Yeah, so yeah.
So I was at Rex's space last year.
Yeah.
I think we had this. I spent time with him last year,
Mm-hmm.
late last year, just before your capsule came out.
Yeah.
It's Nataraja. So I spent time with him, and he told me his story about how he got into production and who he was.
Yeah.
He used to make blues. He used to make blues.
For real?
Yeah.
I didn't even know
in
that.
Ijebu Ode. He used to make blues and make all of these things until one day he met Zlatan,
Yeah.
and Zlatan asked, was it Zlatan Naramadi? But he hung with that crew,
Yeah.
and that cluster,
Yeah.
and then they asked him to do something,
Yeah.
and instantly he just said, "These blues are don't they make sense?
Mhm.
Nothing they come out.
Mm.
So let me try something else," and then he did, and that's
Yeah.
what gave him
Yeah.
a new life entirely. That's what
Yeah.
gave him success.
Yeah.
But much of his learning and his formative years and production was pretty much alternative.
Yeah. So that explains why a record like that could, you know, come about, right? So,
Yeah.
Yeah, he has that side that, you know, people don't really tap into. I mean, if you're going to Rexxie for production, you know what you're going for. You're going for like a needy banger. Right? But I mean, Rexxie, I just wanted to create, I mean, making music is never about oh, I need a hit song,
Yeah.
right? Because I mean, I feel like the moment it begins to feel like that's for me, I don't even know.
It becomes a hustle.
Yeah, you feel right, and that is not what music is for me. Music is just expressing, man, what I feel inside. So yeah, so
But you guys got another one with Ego.
yeah, ego, yeah,
Yeah, you guys went closer.
yeah,
You guys went closer to the
Yeah.
familiar territory.
yeah,
I prefer like that though.
yeah, me too.
That was why you guys made a visual.
Made a visual for, right?
yeah.
But I mean, like that, I wrote like the concept for the visual because I could see ego as well. Like I wrote the concept for both videos, but yeah, I mean, with like that, I was more intentional.
Because it's sex.
He got me there. Yeah.
So what do you do when you get into all of these spaces and then you have to do this? Like you have to not simulate because you're drawing from experience.
Yeah.
So you have to represent those sort of interactions.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it felt real.
Yeah.
Doesn't that leave you too exposed? Don't you feel like,
And now, man, like, cause like, I mean, man, I like sharing my experiences. So when others, so I mean, people, if I don't go that deep, like people need to see me like as an open book with my music,
yeah,
right? And they need to like relate. You know, like when people hit me up about like that, or close friends, when they tell me about like that, they're like, "Yo, man, the song, like it really reminds me of this time I had this thing with someone." Or you feel like,
yeah.
so, and that's what I want
So-
people to feel.
So they listen to like that. It
Mhm.
reminds them of when they had sex with another person.
Basically.
let's
Basically.
let's call it what it is.
Call it,
So, because my record like that, it's sex.
yeah, it
And so if
is.
someone says it reminds me when I was with another person, they're like, it reminds me when I was fucking.
Yeah. Right, yeah.
That must make you proud, though.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the war, just sit it up up people leave. Cause I know you mean it for me. I believe will leave me. I see the leak.
Come
The way you put on me.
How would you sing this with a straight face?
Yo, I mean, man, so the beauty of creating a song like that is the feeling, right? You're writing about sex, but you still have to be artistic about it.
True.
So that whole process is just so beautiful. Because trust me, man, writing like that, I had to like really like think deep. It's not just saying, "Oh, girl, come to my room. Let's just that."
Take
You
it
have
off
to
and
be,
let's just go.
You feel so. I had to like take time, like evilly face. I said, delete up my lolly. You feel like,
Yeah.
So I'm imagining like I'm thinking about her doing those stuff, and I have to like craft it in a way that it's interesting to listen to, right? So yeah, like it's such an amazing experience. Trust me.
So for records like this, when you put your, not specifically this one, but like for your records,
Yeah.
when you create these things and you create them, they're yours, they hold your spirit. How else do you consider them, like your art? Like, do you ever go back to them, like the records in the shelf, the ones in your reserve?
Yeah.
You go back to them and you're like, this is a lot. Like, how do you consider them? So people would look at their records and see them as, I remember talking to a guy and then he says when he's done recording, he sees his records as it's like he's building a house.
Yeah.
Like that's how he describes it, likens
Yeah.
it to a house. And he says every song here it just takes me to the point where the part where he calls it the roof.
Mhm.
So how do you consider your music? Do you see it? So people would look at their music and say, this is the right hand of justice. Exactly. So
Yeah.
like how do you consider your art?
Well, I just because like they are each record is like very different from like another. So like when I mean like when I make like this one, I go back to listen to it and I'm like, this is amazing, and I make another one, I go back to it and I think this is amazing. So like I feel like when I listen to them, I feel like the results that or the reaction I'm going to get from people
Yeah.
when I finally like put them out, and that kind of like excites me, right? Makes me feel like, yo, I can't wait for this to be. I can't wait for people to see this part of me because like there's so much I have to show. And the funny thing is, I have like a lot in my reserve, right?
Yeah.
And I'm still making more, still like discovering new stuff, right? Still making like new stuff every day.
Give
right?
us more capsules then.
Yeah, I'll do more
Sure.
of that.
Please
Sure, I'll do
do.
more of
Please
that.
do. And for the industry, like when a lot of people consider you to, you can see it online everywhere where people say you have, okay, you're called a hook master a lot.
Mhm.
Or people consider you to be one of the, it's still early days, but you've been touted as one of the generational talents of this
Yeah.
of this space of Africa. Does that put some level of responsibility? Does it in any way, knowing that these expectations exist? from something that you're creating from your head?
Not really, cause like I mean, it. I just made what I made, and people feel that way, right? So I don't even like to think about it. Like my favorite place to be is in the studio, right? And when I'm here, like everything, I shut out like everything.
It's a big studio, though.
Right? I mean, I was in the bigger one in London, and yo, that's like the biggest place I've ever been in my life. But yeah, like every time I'm in the studio, I just kind of like shut out like everything. I don't think about what's going on out there, what people are saying. I'm barely on the internet, right? Like,
You're barely
my
on the internet.
yeah, like trust me, man. Like my manager had is like my socials like all the time, right? And yeah, so like I see these things like they motivate me, but I don't ever want to take out the fun of creating. I'll never say I wouldn't say that I'll never feel pressured or like feel responsible for certain things, because like obviously I don't know what the future holds, and when you get to like certain heights, definitely feel that way, right? But for now, I'm still just trying to have the fun that I can.
You must really enjoy crossing your leg.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
okay. So, but where does it all come from? Where does this all come from? When was the first time you ever made music?
It all comes from, like, I mean, listening to guys that I idolized, and
And what were some of them?
that's the Drake,
Okay.
Kendrick Lamar,
Okay.
like the John Bellions and
All right.
the
Okay, I
rest.
can
So
see
I
it.
listened to these guys, and I really just wanted to do what they were like, have mine, right? And that explains why my early days I was rapping, right? Because like when I listened to Drake, I listened to like Kendrick, I tried to do and I mean, first time I made a record was after my secondary school. Immediately I was done with like SS3. I'm like, yo, the first place I want to be in is in the studio. Like, yo,
But prior to that, you've been.
I've been writing. I was
Oh, you
writing
started off as a
a lot.
writer.
Yeah, I was writing like a lot, and I knew one day I was going to like record this beat. So the first thing I did, I recorded like a cover of Bodak Yellow. That
Yeah.
was Cardi B.
The cover of Bodak Yellow.
Yeah,
Did you release it? Let me go
I
find
mean,
it.
like go on SoundCloud.
Oh.
Go on SoundCloud. You see,
Okay.
yeah, I think I was 16 then,
Yeah.
right? I mean, please play it.
Did you call it Bodak Yellow? Because
Yeah,
you
it's
never
called
can
like
tell.
Bodak. Let me check my SoundCloud.
Okay. Pulling it up. But wow, that's interesting. No one would have thought. But Shy, you were a rapper.
Yeah,
Okay, I found it.
yeah.
I found it. Found it. This is Bodak Yellow by Victor.
I was money, I will grab it. I was getting off to do the mathematics. It can off me. I don't want a paramedic. Stay making move, stay paralytic. No, for the depths, your critics. I just want to get a million in a minute. I just want to get you where when I spit it money to the scene, it's better than repeat it. No, all the stuff you been tweeting them before I come. Then you delete it, Scotty my bluff. You ain't got credit.
And this was at 16.
Yeah, I was 16, right?
This is fire.
Yeah, I know, right?
And so you went in there, recorded Bodak Yellow.
Mhm.
This after maybe you were done dropping your pen in secondary school.
Yeah, I did it, and I dropped it on SoundCloud, and
It has. How should I encourage you? Trying to cut on it.
probably had like 200 plays or something.
It has. I think it has 900 now.
Okay, 900.
917.
Okay.
Plus now 918.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, man, I had like a really small audience then, but I feel like everyone who tapped play really enjoyed it, and that was enough for me. It wasn't even about the numbers, right? It was about like the connection or how much people felt it. So I had like 1K followers there on Instagram, and yeah, I dropped it, and everybody, they were really fucking with it. So yeah,
So that convinced you at that point that
Yes.
had something.
Yes. Yes. Yes, it did.
At home, did they support it at home?
Well, I mean, my siblings did, my parents did, but they were not so sure. Like everyone's parents has this ideology about how the music industry is. Artists tend to like womanize, drugs, all
Mhm.
that. So they had that fear, and yeah, so that kind of like held them back from being supportive, but it didn't at the same time make them put a stop totally to it, right?
They
What
just let you do what
They
you
just let me
wanted to
do what I
do.
wanted to do. But the thing is, for instance, before I go for like an event to like perform, I have to like tell them like a week earlier, and they'll be like, "Oh, think about it," and they'll call like family meeting,
For a show?
bro, for for one show, right? So I mean, it had like before I could do stuff, there were lots of processes, but yeah, they didn't like necessarily stop me.
When did those processes end? When were they able to finally trust you?
So I think when I entered like the uni,
Yeah.
right, and yeah, the I wasn't really at home all the time, and they saw that, man, you can't necessarily hold this boy back, right? Because I mean, he's going to be in school. You never know where he's going to be. So they realized that it was better I had these conversations with them rather than hiding it. So they knew when to like let loose a bit. And yeah, so ever since then, you'll just tell us, man, whatever you want to do, tell us before you do it, before you sign anything, before just let us know.
So when you have like a new deal in front of you now, do you call back home and
Yeah,
say this is
definitely,
it?
definitely.
And
Till
then
now,
they have to review it too to
yeah,
make sure you're getting the best deal.
yeah, yeah,
That's amazing.
yeah,
That's a level of support and protection that a lot of people would kill for.
yeah, right?
Yeah, extra eyes on yourself, people that really care about
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
And in a way, they had reasons to be scared of this industry.
Mm-hmm.
You're in the industry now. What have you seen?
It's wild, dude.
Mm.
I mean, you can understand why they were scared,
Yeah.
right? It's really wild out here, right? Things that we see, it's
Yes, it
crazy.
is. And imagine that their son,
Yeah,
making a record about
yeah.
someone licking his lolly.
Right?
Like, so
Yeah.
do you in terms of, and I'm very and this is for my own personal entertainment.
Yeah.
You make a record like that,
Yeah.
and then you send do you send it back home?
I don't know. But speaking, yeah, now you brought this up. There's a snippet I have on my Instagram. It's that Bum Bum Duty first. And
Yeah.
one time my mom came and she's like, "Yo, this one that," because they call me Ibuka.
Yeah.
Right? And she came and said, "This one that Ibuka is singing about Bum Bum." Right? It was just really funny, but I mean,
Was it
right?
awkward for you?
No, it was just funny, right? But I mean, man, come on, man. Like, they will always see me as their baby boy, but I mean, I know somewhere at the back of their mind, they will know that I mean he's of age. So
Like, this one don't go.
yeah, so he's old enough to make decisions and all that. So that's why it's not much of a problem at the same time.
Hmm. But then this level of support, this level of this anchor.
Yeah.
I see like home as anchor.
Yeah.
I didn't have a lot of that, but I could see, so I can understand when
Yeah.
people talk about like their home parentage growing up.
Yeah.
I can understand what they have by not having it.
Yeah.
And does that make things easier for you when you how does that influence how you move, knowing that home exists?
Honestly, sometimes we tend to forget, and that's one of the things like the accident taught me, right? Because like before the accident, I feel like I didn't really appreciate like the essence of home, right? But after then, seeing the people that were by my side when it wasn't all that good,
Yeah.
just made me realize that there's always a place to fall back to when it's really like rough. Sometimes when I feel like really down, I could just call my sister and just be like, yo, I'm coming over. Like, just, I don't necessarily have to communicate like whatever is going on with me to her, but just their presence, just takes you in a space that's different from your daily life, studio, show, and everything. So it really helps a lot knowing that there's always a place to fall back to, and there's always open arms. Yeah,
Nice. That must be nice.
yeah,
It is.
yeah,
It is.
yeah.
It is. Because I see people do things in this game, and
Mhm.
I'll speak candidly. I've seen people do things in this game, and publicly, they do public things in this game, and publicly the world would analyze it differently. They would process it as you being an artist, you being a creative, and handing it over. But for me, I'm like, how, Sunko? Like, don't you have
Yeah,
people you
yeah,
have to go be
yeah.
accountable to, that you
To
have to do like?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
But has that ever stopped you from moving the way you want, or influenced how you move?
I mean, man, with me, I always move how I want to move, but I I think my upbringing and my foundation just let me know like I can move in like certain ways. Not just because I'm accountable to home,
Yeah.
but just owing to the fact that it is not just right with me. So, but it doesn't stop me from, everything I want to do, as long as I feel like it's right with me,
Yeah.
I'm going to do it. But whatever's right with me is right with home.
Yeah.
You feel? So, yeah.
And you have all of this now. This is happening. Apollo's out.
Yeah.
Is there a project coming
Definitely.
this year?
Definitely. Honestly, I want to put out music this year because like I haven't even put out music. Like I mean I feel like I dropped Saturn when I just started this whole singing
Yeah.
barely depth to it, but like I had to feel like I have a lot of depth. And after Saturn, I dropped Pray, Holy Father, Rosemary.
Yeah.
What else? Not so people haven't really heard me. So definitely, I want to put out music, man. I want to just drop all that P, man. Like just
Just have it all in the public.
yeah,
I can feel that. I
yeah,
understand that. And so in all of this, Apollo's doing its thing.
yeah,
You have Outlawville.
yeah.
Who else is an Outlawville?
What else is I love you? That's cousin, but I mean I've not really worked on the character, right? Because like
So
I
all
need
of these
to.
characters are you, but you,
No. I mean Tredax is like only me,
yeah.
but cousin reps someone else. And the thing is, like everyone who's like a fan of Victony has an alter ego in the Outlaw View because
Yeah.
like we all exist differently there, and I'm hoping to like bring this to life proper so I can introduce it to my fans, and they could have like this experience
Yeah.
themselves because like I feel like they have the ability to do that as long as you're like in touch with me and you're like really into my music. You have that ability to like connect to your alter ego in the Outlaw View. So yeah, so it's not just me, it's just us, all of us.
Ah. So I think when I joined the Outlawville,
So I could show you something, right? I
Okay.
mean, with
It's so fascinating.
yeah. So with the cover art for Apollo,
Yeah. That's your
you see the purple ladies. So apparently every girl,
tiny angels.
yeah. So every girl in the Outlaw View is purple, right? And every boy in the Outlaw View is blue. So that explains why Tredax is blue, and that explains why. So we're just different there, tapped into the music and just enjoying a different space.
Nice. But why did you choose to go with the name Outlaw? Why?
Outlaw. Cause like I mean, I feel like in our society today, I feel like just being yourself means you're an outlaw. Cause a lot of people are not themselves. So it's kind of like abnormal to be yourself.
Being original is
It's
it's sort of like protest. It's a form of protest.
Do you understand? So like, and that's why that's why I went with this because like I just want to like I want everybody who really is a fan of Victony to see the essence in like being themselves and just doing what they want regardless of what society thinks or so I mean if being yourself means you're an outlaw then so be it.
Okay. I want to be blue though.
I mean definitely work on yours.
Yes, please. And so all of this has
Yeah.
happened. Apollo's happening. You're raring off to a great year.
Yeah.
Already, with the first release, I'm already having goosebumps. So I'm thinking, in all of this, this your journey, this pursuit of arts, this pursuit of excellence and creativity, all of that. So I'm wondering, like, with all of this happening, it's still day one. But what do you want to get out of it? When, all is said and done, what do you want to go home?
I'm putting all these things out there to, so people can say that, okay, Victony, listening to your music helped me get through this time of my life. Hey, Victony, listening to your music helped me do this. Hey, Victony, your music was such an inspiration. Hey, you feel so like
service.
Yes, feels like service. Yeah. So I mean, it's not about Victony. It's about like what my music can do. Because like I mean, we are all vessels, right? Take Victony out of the take me out of the picture. My music is still very important, right? So I mean, like we are all vessels, and I feel like that's the reason why God just gave us this talent for other people. It's not even for ourselves. So yeah, at the end of the day, that's what I want.
Sounds good. Sounds really good. Service. But that's the very nature of music.
Yeah.
It's for other people.
It's for other people, yeah.
It's what you do. It's something you do to improve the lives of other people.
Yeah. But sometimes like we get it all wrong.
Yeah.
It's like we get it all wrong because like I bad. Do you understand? I use like
But you bad.
I'm bad, yeah. But what I'm saying is, how do I put it? But you understand what I'm saying?
Sometimes
yeah.
it becomes an effort in ego.
Yeah.
Become an exercise in ego.
Ego, yeah. But I mean, it's not about you, man. Like you feel like, yeah.
I get you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah.
I had fun with this.
Yeah,
Thank
me
you.
too.
Thank you.